Hello everyone, today I'm gonna share with you the different filters we have in the new firmware and the new cores. And for this we will play with my three favorite games: Super Mario Land, Super Mario Land 2 and Zelda Link's Awakening. Just to show you that I have the games, and now we're gonna play with the FPGA version of these games. Game Boy and Game Boy Colors. So if you don't have the new filters available, you can use, if you want, and you will have to update the cores. So you just have to download the cores and use them. Previously I used to get splutterized. Unfortunately they do not manage the filters for now. So I will use the latest version of this core from Dude 2. So let's play a little bit these games. Let's start with Super Mario or Tetris. Let's play with Tetris. So I launch it, and as you can see, there's a new filter available. As you can see, if you look at the pixels. Once again, if you want to change the filters quickly, you can just use the analog button here and press left and right. So that's quite easy. So let's start from the left. So by default you have this version, which is the one we used to have in the past. The second one is CRT Trinitron. There's no need to use it, it's only if you have the dock, because as you can see it's too small, unfortunately. Next one is the grayscale LCD. It's wonderful. Original GB DMG. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this one. It's too green in my view. Even if you change the brightness, it's always too green. But if you want to have the look and feel of the old Game Boy version, it's probably the best you can get. Next one is the original Game Boy Pocket, my favorite. Why? Because as you can see the pixels. They are not smooth. It's perfect. And also because when you play during the night, let me show you. If I turn off the light, as you can see, and if I reduce the brightness, it's just perfect to play in the dark, in my view. So I put the brightness to the max just for the video, and I turn the light on. Next one is original Game Boy Pocket Lite. So it looks like the real Game Boy Pocket, unfortunately. I hate it. It's green, it's... let's go to the next one. Next one is a reflective color LCD. Similar to this one we have seen before, just that the contrast is a little bit higher. I don't know if you can see here, but in my view the contrast is too high to play with. Depends on the game, but for Tetris clearly it's not that. Similar for Game Boy Color. This one is nice. It's a little bit yellow behind. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but compared to the previous one, that was like this, you can see it's a little bit different. Same with higher contrasts. Next one is backlit color LCD, very similar as well. And pinball neon matrix, if you want to look like a geek in the subway. Honestly, it's too red for me. I hate this approach. My favorite for now is original LCD plus. Nice balance between the contrast and and the colors. And the second favorite, in my view, is the original GBP, because you still have the pixels there. Maybe it's too bright. That's the only thing we could say about this, and that's why this one is probably better if you want to play. So let's try another game. So we have seen the Game Boy Color's filters. Now we will look at the Game Boy filters, and the Game Boy Color filters now. Same thing, you have to download the new core, even if you're using the firmware 2.0, because by default the cores weren't managing the filters. Personally, instead of using the spiritualized that I used to use before, I have put the Beauty 2 because it's the only one managing the filters for now. Let me show you. If I change the core and now I use the spiritualized and I run a game, like Super Mario Land DX, this one has been created by fans, so it's not a real game you will find on the market in a cartridge, but it's a good way to test it. With that core, as you can see, it's not possible to change the filters. That's why you have to use another core if you want to play Game Boy Color games. So I have used this one. You can download it on the Analogue website, Beauty 2, because this core manages the filters. So I run again Super Mario Land DX. And as you can see, we have some pixels now that are available. And you can use some others filters. So let's start from 0. Normal is the one you had previously with the core, the Game Boy Color core. No pixel style, but if you go to the right, you have the Trinitron one, which looks, honestly, it's amazing. It's something you have to play on the dock because it's too small on the Analogue Pocket in your hands. But it looks like a CRT screen. That's really amazing. Next one, grayscale LCD. So if you're playing Game Boy Color games, honestly, there's no meaning using this one. So same for original Game Boy DMG. We have seen it before, so it's not very interesting. Original Game Boy Pocket, always the same comment. Game Boy Pocket Lite, and now we start having a real interest. If you play that game, as you can see, now you have the pixels with that filters, and because of the ratio that is 10 times on both sides the size of the original screen, each pixel is 10 times bigger than the original ones on the Game Boy. But nothing is blurry, it's just perfect visually. And that's the same for the others. As you can see here, the look and feel is just perfect. That's my favorite original GBC, what's the name? GBC LCD Plus. This one is great, in my view, probably the best one. If you want to increase the contrast, you can use this one. So previous one like this, previous one like that. And here the contrast is higher for all the colors. And always a pinball neon matrix. It is a nonsense to me, but why not? So probably one of the best, in my view, is the original Game Boy Color LCD Plus, or maybe this one, Backlit Color LCD. So let's try with another game this time. And we will use let's play Super Mario Land 2 DX. Same thing, it's not a game you can find on the market. It's just fans that made it in color, and the result is amazing. You play on the Analogue Pocket in 2023, but you have the feeling to play a game that could have been released 20 years ago. That's really, really beautiful. Look at these pixels. So regarding the colors, I will not spend too much time on the Game Boy ones because it's not the one we are looking for here. For the colors of the Game Boy Color, I like this one. This one is too light in my view. Game Boy Color LCD Plus is probably the best between this one that is too colorful. Original GBC LCD Plus for me is probably the best you may use if you want to play Game Boy Color games. You can see that it's just amazing. The pixels are perfect. I love it. And let's go to the last one. I couldn't play without showing you Zelda. So I will put the sound on and let you just enjoy with that filter the colors. So this filter is original GBC LCD Plus. That's the one I recommend. Look at these pixels and these colors. All the filters now applied to the Game Boy Color. That's just amazing. So the only reason why I'm not using the last one, this one, as you can see, it's not a blue sky, it's a purple sky, so it's not what we are looking for. That's why in my view the backlit color LCD is not the best choice. The best choice would probably be the original Game Boy Color LCD Plus because it's just improved for the colors. That's all. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thanks for the developers for putting in place these filters on the Analogue Pocket 2 and within the cores as well, because now we can benefit from it. Thank you.